what do you really say to that? You know, the poor guy, anybody, and that's just such a crappy position for anybody. I'm sure he made a mistake, but I mean, there was some. I mean, as a fighter, when there was a lot of time there, man, and like look at where you're at and what you're doing, and then you hear the corner saying, "Do this." They're actually telling him to throw the knee, or something that you can hear in the commentary. Or at least that's what they go over on the commentary with DC and all them. So if you're in the heat of the moment, you're in your fourth round. It's an exhausting fight. They were keeping an exhausting pace. It doesn't completely surprise me that the knee slipped out because you're in that heat of the moment. And then there was a lot of words exchanged leading into this fight. But there was a lot of time with his hand on his head. You know your hips are back. Like the knee positioning is perfect. That's why Sterling was on all fours. So you can just punch. But he threw a knee on purpose. So I don't know. You have to hear him. I mean, we're all interpreting the situation. It's not a fact, anything that we say. So unless we hear from Petr Yan, like it's all just interpretation. None of it, you know. What's the point of that, right?
I had the same thing happen to me for my first loss against Delroy. Same exact thing. I was winning the fight. 2 rounds in, last round. I was just coming up through a knee. They said it was illegal. I didn't thought it was illegal. And he played it off, and they gave him the win and gave me a loss. You know what I mean? I just don't believe it should be a loss, right? It should be a DQ. Don't put it down as a loss, and it ruins your record. You know, I was undefeated before that, and then they gave me a loss for kneeing this guy in his head. And I don't know. I think if it was actually hurt, Aljamain, then fair play. You was hurt. You know, you couldn't carry around, and that's it. But if you weren't hurt in your heart, you know you weren't hurt in your heart. You're playing it, but you're just doing it just to win the belt. Then you have to live with that for the rest of your life. You know, and you know that you don't deserve it because he was losing the fight. Even though it was a good fight, he probably was losing the fight, and so it's up to him really. If he was hurt, like I said, then he done the right thing. You know what I mean? And we can't carry on. There's life after fighting, right? And you can't like hurt yourself as much. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, what did you think though of people saying he was embellishing it? Because I watched it; it looked like he was hurt, but I mean, I don't know. Just what was your? Because obviously that's the first thing fans say is, oh, he deserves the Academy Award, all this stuff, right?
I don't know. I was watching it thinking, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, if he's hurt, then he's hurt, right? I don't know. I'm not in his head. I don't know if he's faking it or not. You know what I mean? But like I said, if he's faking it, he has to live with it for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? But like, he's gonna get a rematch. He's gonna get to do it again, and that's the main thing.
I'm not gonna get into the whole. Was he faking? Was he not faking? Was he as hurt as he said? There's no reason for me to get into that. And no matter what I say, people are gonna twist it like I'm shitting on Aljo. So I'm not even gonna get into that. But what I will get into is, I've been hard on refs. I have been. Never in my fights. You guys have never heard me say a ref was bad. It was a bad stoppage. He screwed me. I've never said that. I've always taken my wins or losses on the chin. So what I am saying is that I think referees need to have more responsibility, and they need to be willing to take more responsibility. You've never seen Tom Brady get sacked and end up with a roughing the passer, and then the referee talk to Tom, and so they can figure out what they're going to do. You make the call. That's your job. And I understand that these referees, they don't want to take a lot of heat. They don't. But if you don't want to take the heat, then you need a new job. And I don't care about how mean the fans are to you and what your Twitter mentions look like. You need to make sure that these decisions are made and it's not put on the fighter. I'm not going to judge anybody for making that decision. Like, is that the decision I would have made? No. But I'm not expecting everyone to live life the way that I live my life. That's up to him. It's up to them. So my problem is that Aljo should have never had to make that decision. Let's look at this and what I don't understand is why is the legality of the knee the issue and why he won't make the decision? Because had Aljo's knee been down or been up, but he was in the same position, he'd have stopped that fight immediately. Just basically off the reaction that Aljo had once he took it. Why does the legality of that knee change that? Because if you would have stopped it before, if it was a legal knee because he was too injured to continue, why wouldn't you do it right away because it was illegal. I don't understand that. I also, I know why. It's because the refs don't want to they don't want to take the fight into their own hands because they're afraid of people being mean to them on the internet. So, lastly, I'm so sick of referees punting off the issues to the cage side doctor. If we're gonna pretend, because this is what we're doing apparently, we're gonna pretend that you're so experienced and you're so knowledgeable in this sport that we're gonna task you with stopping fights when people can't continue, right? But then all of a sudden there's a foul and you start looking around, you're lost, and you're looking at the table and you're looking at the commission and you're trying to find a doctor. Like, what you should be doing is you should know what the fighter looks like when they're injured. You should know when it changes. You should know the look on their eyes. You should know their mannerisms. I know that Aljo was hurt when he first took that knee, and I've never reffed one of his fights. So if I know that, then Mark Smith should know that. He should know exactly what his reactions are. But they just want to pass the buck because they don't want to deal with it. So like, oh, please bring the doctor in. You're going to tell me that this doctor is more experienced in what a fighter looks like when he's injured and probably can't continue than you? If that's the problem, then the doctor should be the goddamn ref. And it drives me crazy. Like, if you're not going to make those hard decisions and protect people and not force them to make terrible decisions, then what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, honestly, at the end of the day, we don't need you. Like, we could have someone on the outside, like, yelling at us because we police ourselves in the gym every single damn day. Like, we could almost do this without you. Outside of the cowboy kind of guys that like to break the rules and the assholes with the finger pokes, other than that, we don't need you. Because if I low blow someone, it happens in the gym all the time. You just stop and you let them fucking clear it, and then you keep going. Like, if you're not going to make those hard decisions, I'm not exactly sure why referees are even there. I do think, and I don't want to crap all over Mark Smith because I think, given the rules and the way things are done right now, I don't think he did an awful job. I think he took too long to make the right decision, and I think aesthetically it made Aljo look awful. Which again, that's the decision they made. That's fine, but I don't think he did an awful job. I do think that if you had Jason Herzog in there, or you had Keith Peterson, or maybe one or two other guys, I don't think that it goes that way. I just can't for the life of me think that someone takes that knee like that with Jason Herzog. I think it takes 5 seconds for him to see the condition of the fighter and calls the fight. I 100% believe that.
They had to go by the rules. The referee did tell him he was down. Petr Yan, I get it. The emotions, the adrenaline, the everything. He just lost control. It'll only make for an even bigger rematch, an even bigger pay-per-view. So, and they'll be the main event, as they should. It was a good fight. Both of them were throwing down pretty well, and I can't wait to see the rematch myself.
I watched it. Man, amazing fight. Both guys, so impressive. And I'm usually not a guy who thinks like, oh, that's super illegal or oh, stay down. But that was a hard illegal shot, and it sucks that that's the way that it happened. But there's no asterisks in front of that. Aljo's the champion of the world right now, and history is going to go down as that. And as far as I'm concerned, you can't really take anything away from the guy. There'll be a rematch. Things will get squared. But, man, that's a shot that there's certain fights and certain things that happen where it takes a little piece of fighters and you can't get that back. And, man, that's one of those shots that could change the rest of your career. And I hope that he's okay. And man, it was rough.
You're looking for a first resort. When it comes to MMA, all around it's Lynch on sports.